Breaking news. You're coming to the first virtual summer conference. So, you're coming to my home in Charlotte, not Greensboro, not Winston-Salem, but I think we're going to enjoy this because we've not had, when we were at Greensboro, very much time for our meeting, and now we have an entire hour. Some housekeeping rules though. If you want to get credit for this meeting, you need to stay the entire time. I've been informed that by Ashley Orr, and so if you're signed on to a summer conference, you definitely want all the credit. You should have gotten an agenda fairly lengthy for this meeting from me. It's giving you a lot of notes, emails, so you need to keep that agenda. I hope you have it in front of you now. First thing on our agenda is an introduction of our new officers. As you're probably aware, I'm your president now, but not for many more days. I'm now the past president. I'm Diane Wall. I've been the president for a few years, and I am now in the past, and our new president will be Lynn Hardison. Now, many of you are very familiar with Lynn Hardison because she was the chair of our HOSA board, and you know how we're all dedicated to HOSA. So many of you know Lynn. I'm very excited because Lynn knows many people down east, and I don't because I'm in Charlotte. So she's been wonderful, plus she's tech savvy, and we're going to do a lot of things we've not done before. When you're looking, you may now see that we have a new president-elect, but at this time it's vacant, but never fear, that position will be filled. Secretary is Linda Thompson. You know Linda Thompson. She's been our treasurer. Very dedicated. We could rely on her integrity, and we're very glad she's consented to be our secretary. She's retired, but she's still staying with us. Next, Miranda Wells will be our treasurer. You know how important that is to us because we like to know that our money, we're stable, we're financially stable, and our money is being taken care of. She will be vastly assisted by Ray Huff, who handles the money for our state organization. Next on our agenda, you may see that our quality division report. Now you're saying, what is that? I didn't even know we did anything like that. You've seen me walk across the stage and get a certificate. What was that for? We never had much time to talk about that. This report and its criteria is what decides what we do or drives what we do. So we are a quality division. We got a lot of points. I'm very proud of this. So what does it mean? We have officers. We have bylaws. I sent those to you. We have a person who's going to be looking at our bylaws. That's Joan Thompson. Most of you know Joan, and she's still hanging with us. She's retired, but she's going to look at those. Now, I think they're in pretty good shape, but just know we do have those. We have been represented at the fall and the spring meetings. Yes, you've had me there. You've had Lynn Hardison there. You've had Linda Thompson there. Why is that important? That's where we vote. And our division gets 2 votes, and we've been casting our votes. We have committees. Our committees have met. Next thing, we have a big strategic plan. And I'm going to be talking to you more about the specifics on that a little further in the program. We have awards. We nominate people. We have a newsletter. I know you've gotten the newsletter from me. In the last one, we've had member spotlights, which I really like. We are represented at the Assembly of Delegates. That's where we induct our new officers and take care of our business. We've always had a booth at summer conference, and you've come by and seen us. This is where we ask people to join our organization. We decorate it. We spend a lot of time there. And interestingly, we can't have that this year because we're virtual. We had a nomination for president-elect to the state organization. We nominated me this year, so we got credit for that. Increase in membership. Well, we're doing the best we can on our membership. We go up, and then we go down. And we're going to talk about that some more later. We definitely have a plan for new member recruitment. We regularly look at the ACTE website, and I'm going to be directing you to some things on there, especially CTE Learn later in this. We have submitted our newsletter to public information so that it gets incorporated into our larger newsletter. Our executive committee meets. We have training for our new leaders, and at summer conference we've attended the training that Ruth Huff has. Policy Day, we've in the past have attended. In the last few years there have been problems with that for scheduling other things. We'll talk about that later. And we've always had professional development for our division. You know, that's our AHEC class that we have in the summer prior to summer conference. Now, for the big surprise. During this meeting, ever so often, we are having a drawing, and we're sending to that person an e-card for Starbucks. So prior to this recording, I did some drawing of some names. Our first name is Regina Smith. Regina Smith is from Cumberland County. As a matter of fact, I believe she might be at Southview High School, where I graduated in 1973, the first graduating class. So, Regina, be looking for your e-card in your email. Now I'm coming to you from an auditorium. I hope you're enjoying my backgrounds. I didn't know what to do when we had an hour-long meeting. I thought, this is going to be so boring. But my husband happens to be a computer engineer, and he had this. So I thought, this will break up the monotony. But look at this auditorium. What do you notice? Is this the time of social distancing? It is, but that's not what I'm trying to show in this auditorium. There are a lot of empty seats. There are a lot of people there who look like they're interested. They're dedicated. But we need to fill up all these seats. We need to increase our membership. Not just so we can have membership, but so that we can engage everybody. So that new people can get what I've gotten out of this organization. So, in the future, please look and check your email, including junk, for updates for us when it comes to your membership. Please check the ACT website, and our NACT website has moved there. But we will be forwarding you important stuff from Ruth Huff. Now, people move. It's hard for us to keep up with people. Sometimes we even get inaccurate information, and I'm trying to run down people's correct email. If you're not receiving quite a few things from us, you need to contact me. I've given you my contact. Please let me know, because we would love to send you some stuff. I'm sending you also how to update your profile. We need your personal emails. We love your school, but people move, and we need your personal. We need your personal phone so that we can contact you. If you're looking to join, here's the site, acteonline.org. I have sent you those steps of how to renew. Quite a few people have done it, and they've not had any trouble. If you were in Greensboro and we had some trouble, it was their Wi-Fi. If you try to do it at your home, you will zip right through it. But keep your profile up to date, and let us keep in touch with you. Now, for new health science teachers, I know that Ruth has been asked to put together a video for the new teachers. I'm glad to participate in that, and I'm going to tell what I've gotten out of this, why I joined. What I want to say is, long ago when I joined, you didn't think about it. You thought, you're supposed to join your professional organization, aren't you? Nurses are told you join the Nurse Association, so I thought you join the Teachers Organization. This was back when we filled out a paper form and wrote a check at summer conference. It's not like that now. It's harder to keep up with people, and we don't take these checks. It's all online, and you have to renew at different times. Now, why have I enjoyed always belonging? Because when I'd come to summer conference, and I'd see the members in NCATE, I would see people like Frances Hess, she's in the mountains. I see Linda West, she's at the beach. And I knew that if I needed some help, I could contact them. That made all the difference in the world. You feel like you're not at the school by yourself, and you've got somebody that understands what you are doing. So encourage new teachers at your school to join. If you don't feel comfortable and really, asking them, please send us their email, because we would like to personally contact them. And I mean send them some information over email. But we want to make sure that we get to tell these new teachers what this is about. Now, another thing as I've gone along is I served on the legislative committee. Long ago, I met with our lobbyists that we had prior to the one we have now. And I said, wow, this is what this is for. We have a lobbyist who represents us in Raleigh who does a phenomenal job. You may not know this because that's not the kind of thing you see, but you see the result. And many times, some people who've been around, Libby Silby could tell you the times that our job was saved. Now, in the time of coronavirus, we may need help with the legislature, and we have a good person. So at the end of this program, you're going to be directed to a short video that he's made for us, so you can meet the guy we have. Now, so you're going to send me names of new teachers. Now, if you, on your own, get 3 new members, we're going to send you a $50 gift card, because that's valuable to us. We want to reward you, but we want those new members. And we want to engage them, and you're going to see some fun things we're trying to have in the future so that people feel a part of the group. Now, if you're a member who's been around a while, you got a letter from me about for established veteran member, and it's talked about the things we're doing. That was interesting. I also sent out something to people who were recently inactive and people who were needed to renew shortly. Like I sent out letters to people who need to renew at the end of June and the end of July. We're trying to do that. I hope you're getting notice from ACTE. Now, I have to say that my membership comes due June 30th, and I got mine 15 days in advance. Make sure that you check junk or whatever, because a lot of times stuff from ACTE, that's the way it comes to me. So please check that and make sure you keep your membership active. Now, you need to know this too. We do still have the installment plan if you want to do that, which is $35 over 4 months. If you have any problems with anything like that, let us know, because I'll contact somebody there and see if that problem cannot be addressed. Now, many of us, when it's time to have a mammogram, we have a buddy who reminds us, because that's an important thing. So I suggest that you set up a buddy whose membership is due the same time yours is, and you make sure that you get it done together. All right, it's time now for our second drawing. That person is Glenda Childers. Glenda is from Cleveland County. Glenda, I hope you're with us, and I hope that you look for your Starbucks e-card in your email. Now I've really traveled. This background represents me being a place I've never been before. And it's representing places we're going to go we've never been before. One thing about being in quarantine and the digital learning, I've learned a lot about Zoom meetings, Microsoft Teams meetings, and I've had 3 or 4 a day. So, after I got used to it, I said, wow, I sort of like these. I had the experience of my little CTE team having one where we played games, and goodness, I didn't think that would be fun, but wow, it was. So, look for us to have monthly Zoom meetings for our group. Not to sit through business like we are now, but these meetings are for us to have fun. We can have a theme that you select. It can be recipes. It can be anything. Just a chance to get together and we see people's face and attach a name and a face together so that when we do get to meet, and it's not virtual, we know each other. But the emphasis will be on fun. You will soon be receiving a survey from your new president, Lynn, who will help to establish when's a good schedule for these. It's going to meet her schedule, and it's going to see when this is convenient for people. Because if it's not convenient, it won't be fun. So, we're open to any ideas about this. You know, some things I've never been exposed to, but hey, when I get exposed to them, I like them. So, I'm open to new ideas, and our leadership team is definitely open to new ideas. But more on that later. Next, I want to talk to you about our professional development. And since we're virtual, what happened to our AHEC meeting that many of us relied on because it gave us credits for our nursing license. Now, we had been in the process of planning this since the last summer conference. This would have been our 10th. Now, we generally had it on the Monday because, you know, our teachers are essential and it's hard for them to get out of the classroom. It's hard to get somebody to fill in for them. And it has been a day-long professional development that gave nurses credit for their nursing license renewal. You know, we do need 30 hours. And it was provided by AHEC because they are the only ones who could give us credits. DPI cannot give us credits for nursing. They can give us credits for our teaching license. So, members of our group got a reduced registration. Dramatic changes around a summer conference, though, compelled the cancellation of this. Planning for this had begun in July, and this was not with us. This was with the people at AHEC. They reserve a date and begin discussions with our committee about it as soon as one ends. Barbara Burke at DPI, who we all know is wonderful, she surveys teachers and contributes to the decision. She likes to be involved in that because it's nursing, and she's a nurse. This year's program would have covered 2 topics: how teachers can get their 30 nursing hours to maintain their license, and a real biggie that people have asked for, clarification of the health science teacher's role as a first responder and covering for the school nurse. We've had guidance from the North Carolina Nursing Board, and so that was something that was very wanted from our group. Barbara Burke gave us notice when she received it in January of changes in the summer conference schedule. We learned then that it wasn't going to be in Greensboro. It was going to be in Winston-Salem, that it was going to start on Monday, and we're used to us being able to have Monday. We made every attempt to get it moved around. Greensboro AHEC couldn't help us. We looked to Winston-Salem's AHEC. Nothing, we couldn't do it. But, so the result of this, it had to be canceled. But in the end, it would have been canceled anyway. Everything's virtual. But the end result was a lot of time and effort were expended because we got late notice. Now, us, that's bad, but we hate to do that to AHEC. Now, but be advised, AHEC still has a wonderful relationship with us, and we appreciate that. They have worked with us for the last 10 years. They're going to keep working with us. Now, special thanks go out to Teresa Harris, who worked on this diligently. You may not know Teresa Harris. She lives close by, and she can communicate with those folks easily. But she has done this for every one of these programs. Every one. That's dedication. And we definitely appreciate it. So, hats off to Teresa Harris, and we'll continue on. Now, I suspect those 2 topics will be good for next year because they sound like real winners. Next on our agenda, you have our Region 2 report. Region 2, AHEC is divided into regions, just like our North Carolina HOSA is divided into regions, and we're Region 2. Now, we rotate which state every year the conference is held in. It was held in North Carolina. It was on October 4th through the 5th in Raleigh at the Embassy Suites, and we put on a really good show. This was thanks to a lot of work put in by Ruth Huff, who worked tirelessly, and a lot of Ruth's friends. Friends she had developed a long time being associated with NCACTE. And I hope you all know this, but Ruth is a member of our division. Ruth is a nurse, and Ruth has been the president of our division probably several times. And so we adore Ruth. All right. Now, interesting enough, I was the presenter there, so I attended a lot of things, and I can tell you from personal experience, the presentations there were really good. North Carolina looked fantastic. We got to compare what we do with some other states, and we looked really good. I made a presentation there on legal and ethical issues, and I know my director from Cabarrus County was there, and many others, and it was fun. So, Region 2, great success. Can't wait for it to roll around again. Plans for the fall and spring conference. I have it to be announced. Well, in the times we're in, look for the announcement of those. We can guess that maybe the fall will be virtual, but we'll hang by to see what it is. But you will get an announcement as to what's happening about our fall presentation. Now, if you can attend, that's fine. You should be getting a report from us. We send in board reports, and we'll let you know what important things to you. Keep on looking for our newsletters. To me, the highlight of the newsletter is the member spotlight. I love those. You notice the last one was Erica Boone. And Erica Boone is an outstanding member of our group. In the beginning, when we talked about quality report, it talked about attending the Assembly of Delegates. Erica has been wonderful in staying late in the evening at summer conference to be a voting delegate for us. That's wonderful. She could do that, and you know Erica has 5 children, and she did it because she was there. She was already there, and she cast a vote for us, and we really needed it, and we really appreciate it. So, we need you to tell us other members to spotlight. We'd like to know what they're doing. We'd like for you to send us pictures of things you're doing. If it's an outstanding HOSA thing, we don't care. We put pictures in. It's whatever our teachers are doing. We appreciate that. Now, it's time for our third drawing. And let's see who this recipient is. Kathy Pope. She's from Harnett County. I love Harnett County. I went to Campbell Law School, and I love Harnett County. Lillington, Bowie's Creek. Alright, so Kathy Pope, be looking for an e-card for Starbucks from us. Yes, now let's move on to some new things. I would like to talk to you about CTE Learn. You may not know anything about this, but that's why I'm directing you to it. During this time when we've been focused on digital learning and been in quarantine, I hope that you got the occasion to see some of the things that ACTE put out. I did, and I was impressed. They did some things with the state of California that my CDC sent out, and they were really impressive. So I hope you got to see some of those, and if you get on the website and really look, you can find lots of information. But I want to direct your attention to something you'll see there called CTE Learn. If you're looking at your agenda, it will give you the steps. Now when you go on, you have to first click on, you have to look for this. It's not going to jump out at you. First you click on Professional Development. underneath professional development, it'll drop down and you'll see CTE Learn. Then you'll see credit courses. Members get a discount to those. There's 150 courses. But, you pay for those. You might get a discount, but you're paying. But that's on the left side. On the right side, you'll see free. I saw some stuff in there. CTE lessons, workplace skills tutorials. That was what garnered the most attention from me. Look at those. See if you can use those. I think you can, and I think you'll be happy you did. But it's a great resource. Please take advantage of it. Now, if you do that, and you find some clever uses for some of these, please let us know. Just take 3 seconds and send us an email, and we'll put it in the newsletter, or we'll put it out so that other members can benefit. But this is a benefit of membership, and you need to look at these things and take advantage. Next, let's talk about our financial status and our membership. Earlier on, we talked about our membership. Our membership is strong. We keep around 30 members, but it'll go up and then down, and that's where it kind of stabilizes. But we really need to stay on top of people renewing. Yes, that's it, of people renewing. And hopefully they'll get notice and they won't just forget about it. Next, leadership. We need you in leadership. Now, does that mean a big time commitment or no? Now, ideally, what I would think would be great is if somebody was doing the bylaws. Let's take what John Thompson's doing. Maybe you could do the bylaws next year. You could consult with her one time, several times, and say, this isn't much, I can do this. Because our bylaws, how much work that's going to be. We have committees who are just for us, and then we have ones that have feed into the state level. Like as the past president, I'm in charge of awards. So I do awards for the big group, and I do awards for us. You will see some of those later. But we need you. Please tell us you want to do something. My great example every time is Erica Boone. She's always willing to do what she can, and it's the biggest help in the world. When we need somebody to cast a vote for us, she's there. That's what we need. So let us hear from you, and get a friend in the group to come and get them to volunteer also. Next, let's talk about the awards, ACTE awards. We have some great ones. You can be a new teacher. You can be an established teacher. But you need to be in good standing for 3 years to qualify for these awards, and your membership cannot lapse. That's why it's so important. We've had people that we nominated, oops, a tiny lapse, and then we have to check that, and then we can't nominate you. Now, you also have to fill out some paperwork. We've had people in the past that didn't want to do the paperwork. If you are a person who is worthy of receiving the award, lucky I'm in charge of this, and I can assist with paperwork. Lawyer, I'll assist you with getting the paperwork, because we need to have winners. Next, our division awards. We want to revive awards just for us. We can give them out for what we want, when we want. At our new Zoom meetings, we can have funny awards. We can have other kind of awards. But we want to acknowledge things that our members have already done. If you need to help us to do this. If you were the teacher of the year at your school, or you're now going to be the chair of the SIT team at your school, please let us know. We want to highlight that. We want to put that in our newsletter. We want to let everybody know that our membership is really a leader in the schools and are really benefiting students. I know you are. We just need to point it out. Now, we've determined, Libby, Sylvie, and Diane have determined we need to give out some resolutions. We want to honor people who have done things for us, a long-term commitment. We have a list of names of people this year that we're honoring with a resolution. These things look nice certificates, and we're going to mail those to the people we are honoring. Who are we honoring? Linda Thompson. Linda Thompson has served as our treasurer for many years. She's done an excellent job, and we really appreciate it. Now, I'm calling on attention to her, and I'm moving back up to our financial status. Our financial status is strong. Years ago, we were strong fundraisers back when we could have auctions, and we had our lunch, and we had a CD, and when it became not to our advantage to keep that CD, we cashed it, and we have some money. But we're not wasting that money, because that would be like living off of inheritance, and we're not going to do that. We're very careful. So if you're a member of this organization, one thing you don't have to worry about is our financial status. Not that we're rich, but we are comfortable, and we have a treasurer. But more than that, our money is really held by Ray Huff and our big organization, so we are rock solid. Next, Teresa Harris. Of course, Teresa Harris. Teresa Harris has done that AHEC conference 10 years. Most deserving. Gina Armstead. Cecilia McBride. Y'all remember Cecilia McBride? Frances Hess. I told you about Frances Hess, if you don't know Frances. Karen Osborne. She was the teacher with me in CMS. Debbie Beam. Debbie Beam was devoted to this organization, was a leader many times. Linda West. We have to say it. And, of course, Libby Silby, who has been our president several times. Now, what does our resolution say? What will these people be receiving? I hope I can read this. North Carolina Health Science Education Teachers Association Board Resolution in recognition and profound appreciation of distinguished service. In recognition of and profound appreciation of distinguished service by, and I'll just use the name, Teresa Harris. Whereas Teresa Harris has always been mindful of the interest of North Carolina Health Science Education Teachers Association and has worked tirelessly to advance health science education in North Carolina. Whereas Teresa Harris has provided outstanding leadership and guidance to our organization and the students in North Carolina Public Schools. Whereas Teresa Harris has faithfully, with honor, integrity, and with great distinction, served our organization and to the students of North Carolina Public Schools. Resolved that the North Carolina Health Science Education Teachers Association Board of Directors formally acknowledge and extend profound appreciation to Teresa Harris for her many years of service to our organization and to the students of North Carolina Public Schools. Resolved further that the officers of the North Carolina Health Science Teachers Association are, and each acting alone, hereby authorized and directed to take such further action as necessary, appropriate, or advisable to implement the resolution and amendment, and any such prior actions are hereby ratified. We, the undersigned, hereby certify that North Carolina Health Science Teachers Association resolved this action, and will make this today's date. And it will be signed by the President and the President-elect. So that's Diane and Lynn Hardison. So I'm very happy about that. Some of these people, as I was telling you way back when, and you know I joined a long time ago, this is why I came. I couldn't wait. Of course, I worked with Debbie Bean, but I couldn't wait to get to summer conference and this group to meet with Linda West and Frances Hess. Frances Hess is from the mountains, and they were just dedicated. And everybody knows little Cecilia McBride. She was from Southview. She had a classroom next to my sister who taught science. So, I want for the new members to have the feelings that we had. We want you to go on to exciting things at technology and all that, but we still want you to have the feelings that we had. So we want to continue to honor these people who have dedicated to our group. Now, time for the fourth drawing. It is Sheila Gerald Evans from Brunswick County. Sheila, be looking for your e-card in your email. Starbucks. Go and have coffee with a friend, but social distance. We've changed again, and now I want to start with talking to you about our strategic plan. I mentioned that earlier, but didn't go into great detail, and I won't because I'm sending our newest one out to you. But just for you to know, we do have a strategic plan, and we do stick to it. We have a budget, and we stick to it. We try not to spend anything if we can. Now, strategic plan, what's new? We are striving to do several new things. One, we would like to have the Zoom meetings. Two, we would like to have a Facebook, because we want to move on up. Even I have gotten into Facebook. I don't want to, but I did. And there's certain aspects I like, and I would like for us to do that. And we're going to have people in charge of that. Now, if you would like to assist us with Facebook, Instagram, we would have a very, very good incentive for you to do that. So if you're young, you're all into this, or if you're not young but you're into this, please contact us, because we want to stretch out the fun, let everybody have some. But that's a big part of our strategic plan, to go more into technology. So Zoom meetings, Facebook, Instagram, anything like that we can do. Next on our agenda, the Lobbyist and Legislative Day. Now, I don't know how many of you are acquainted with what lobbyists do. I was a lawyer and I didn't know exactly what they did, but being exposed to ours, I have learned. They know the people in the legislature. They know who to speak to. They know how to speak to them. They know when to speak to them. They know big when not to speak to them. They know not to embarrass them. This is North Carolina. This is our legislature. And they don't go for that. So, at the end of this, you will see a video prepared by our lobbyist, Brian Holloway. Now, he's working hard for us. And one of the things he does is he helps us set up our legislative day in the spring. Now, of course, it goes without saying all plans are contingent on COVID, but I want you to know what the legislative day is. In the past, we've had, that was what worked out, we've had teachers go and meet with people in the legislature, people who wanted to meet with us. Now, we're favored in the legislature because it's CTE, and they understand that. They know how vital it is. They know that we're the ones that keep kids in school. We can also, there have been occasions where teachers and students went, and the people in the legislature met our students and asked them what they did. That was very exciting. So, we do those as things work out, and you will be getting information about that. Now, if you ever get to do this, you need to invite your principal and others in your school to go with you, because your principal will be very impressed if he gets to see how our students are regarded by the members of the legislature. Next, let's talk about our committees. You know, we have committees, and we would love for people to serve. You'll see our slate of people who are handling it this year. We need people for next year and the year after that. So here are some bylaws. I've sent you out a copy of the bylaws. Please look them over. If you have a suggestion, please send it to us. The legislative, that's a person that looks at the legislative news and what our lobbyist is doing, and our legislative day newsletter. That's important for somebody to be in charge of that, and more important, for each member to contribute to it. Anything you're doing, somebody to spotlight, we want to report the news, but somebody has to tell us where the news is. Professional development, that's Teresa Harris. She's going to work hard on AHEC. But you know, somebody should think about being her assistant and look into the future. You learn a lot dealing with setting that up. Public information is another thing that we send out things, and that goes to our state group. Resolutions, you just saw one of them where we're honoring people. We want to set up a program of honoring people who have served for many years or done outstanding things. Now, if we were in our meeting at Greensboro, or if it had been in Winston-Salem, we'd have had a time for you to ask questions. I hope that this has caused you to ask a few questions. Please email those to us, and we will be glad to answer them. Now, I hope that you have met our leadership in the state organization. Now, Ruth Huff is our executive director. I hope you've met her. She's preparing a video for the new teachers, so I hope that you know who we're talking about when we say Ruth Huff. Our upcoming president will be Kim Sexton. She's from Davidson County, and I hope that you get the occasion to meet her. Now, we're on to our fifth drawing. And our last card goes to Jennifer Page from Moore County. Jennifer, be looking in your email for your e-card from Starbucks. It's time for our meeting to come to conclusion. Usually at this time we're racing out because we've had to fight to get in the room. We've only had 30 minutes, which went down to 20. We quickly went through everything. We threw out some incentives at people, and we raced off to what we call our Assembly of Delegates. This is where the new officers are installed, and we start out on a new year. So I have my celebration background, so we're going to pause and take a minute. We're going to celebrate. We've had a great year. We're going to have another great year, and we appreciate all those who have contributed to all that we do. Now, at the end of this program, we're attaching a video that was made by our lobbyist, Brian Hollowell. You get to see him. You get to see the kind of person we have meeting our folks at the legislature. I asked him to do this video in a leadership program that we have for our state level. So I was part of that, and I asked him to do it, and he very kindly did. And I describe him as our greatest asset. And he is. Now, another thing before you get to meet Brian. I've mentioned that leadership program. That is open to you. If you'd like to learn more, you'd like to participate more, you can be part of that program. We made little videos to market our group. That was easy. We read some books. We interviewed people. I interviewed Lisa Conger. And so I would offer you that opportunity. So let's celebrate. Let's take a pause. Let's be glad. It's summer. We're out of school. We did this virtually. I hope you're sitting at home with a snack and something to drink, and you're glad that you didn't have to travel and you got the chance to learn what you learned today. So, without further ado, Brian Hollowell.